Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're going to look at the 5 rarest and most expensive items in the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to show you guys what those are, how much they're worth, and how you can obtain them for yourselves. So the first item on the list, and number 5, is going to be the Second Legion chest. This is essentially a very rare style page that was dropped during the White Streaks Mayhem event in 2020. And how you can obtain this now is to take part in the White Streaks Mayhem events this year, and essentially just open up your bags of Veteran's Glory. This little bag has a chance to have any reward from any of the past events in there, and that essentially means that you can get the Second Legion style page from that. Now, although the chest is the most expensive part here at 9.5 million gold, all of the other pieces are still worth a few million each. Don't be too upset if you don't get the chest and get something else. So in terms of farming this, all you want to do is gain as much AP as possible during the White Streaks Mayhem event to get as many of these little bags as possible, to have as many attempts at getting the style page as possible. If you want to, you can check out this video that shows you how to make over 120,000 alliance points while AFK during the White Streaks Mayhem event, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. I'd also recommend that you guys keep an eye on your guild traders for this item, just because it comes up at a low price every now and again, because people have things in their bank, people have things in the guild bank, people just have stuff on a character they've not been on in a long time. So these come up every now and again because people don't exactly know to price check them, especially if you're on a console, and you can get a pretty good deal on them. I would also take this as like a bit of an indication to maybe collect quite a few of the different motifs from this year's White Streaks Mayhem, because the 2020 events are so expensive now that if you had have bought a lot of them and waited for a couple of years, you would have been up millions and millions of coins, to a point where you probably couldn't have even farmed that much gold over that period of time. Just taking a quick second here out of the video, guys, to promote our new website. So J-Clips and myself have come together to make a website basically called ESOhelper.com. There'll be a link to that in the description for you guys to click and check out. Essentially, it's going to be all guides written by myself and Jake, okay? No one else is going to be contributing to this website. It's just me and Jake, and all the information on here is going to come from us. So people you know, people you trust, people you like, people you watch, all going to have all of our information on this website. So we've got quite a lot of things on here. Like, we have endless amounts of gold guides right here. We have updates on all the vendor rotations done by Jake. We have event guides. We're going to have monthly login rewards, things like that. And we have a character checklist. So anyone starting out the game who's not really sure what to do, you know, Jake's made a pretty detailed guide here on exactly what you guys need to be doing, all the way from level 1 to CP 160. And there's so much more on the website, guys, so give it a wee check out, okay? So at number 4, we have the Philosophy Triptychs. So these are 3 very rare paintings that are worth 10 million gold each. And the reason they're so rare is because of where they drop and the drop rate of them. So in order to obtain one of these, you would have to actually get it from a lockbox in Vardenfell, which is a very niche thing that no one's really opening. You know, no one's really in Vardenfell at this point. The DLC is very old. No one's really opening the lockboxes because it's not really a thing you can do, because it's otherwise not too profitable unless you hit this one item. Now, the thing is, these pictures are very nice, and they are probably the nicest pictures in the game, so a lot of people want them for their houses just because they're like the best piece of decor, and they're also like a status symbol because of how expensive they are. So they do sell pretty consistently around 10 million, so if you do find one, you shouldn't have too much of an issue in selling it. So if you want to farm for one of these yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to my full guide on that. Essentially just talks you through the best lockbox farming routes in Vardenfell. I'd also recommend that you guys keep an eye on your guild traders for this item, just because it comes up at a low price every now and again. So at number 3, we're going to have the Iliad bookcase furnishing plants. So these are worth 24 million gold, and these bookcases are very rare, not only because they only drop from Iliad runes, but also just because they're general very low drop rate in an Iliad rune as well. So there are 2 versions. There is a filled version and there's an empty version. Now, the filled version typically sells for a couple of million more than the empty version, but they're both very rare, so you should expect around 20 to 24 million for either one. So these also sell very frequently. They are a little bit more common than some of the other items we talked about, but they sell very fast, making them still very rare in that aspect, and that's what keeps the price so high. So in order to farm for these, all you have to do is kill basically any monster in an Iliad dungeon. So there'll be a link in the description to my full guide on how to farm for Iliad furnishings. And a really cool thing you can do on the side of this is also farm for companion gear. So I noticed some of the jewelry is worth a couple of 100,000 gold, some of the nicer armor pieces worth a couple 100,000 gold, so pretty cool to just combine those 2 together and look for these furnishing plans while also making your passive money off the companion gear. So at number 2, we have the Evansdale Warrior chest piece. So this is a very rare style page that can again only be obtained by opening the bags of Veteran's Glory which are obtained through the White Strix Mayhem event. So again, this was the 2021 White Strix Mayhem reward, so just much the same as the second Legion there. You kind of want to be just getting as much AP as is possible whenever White Strix Mayhem is on. Open up your bags of Fighter in its glory and hope you get one of these pieces here, okay? Now obviously again, the rest of this style is worth a couple of million coins each. This one just happens to be one of the most expensive. It sits around 84 million at the moment for the only one I seen listed. I did look at the sales history and the latest sales history was 19 million, so at the very least it sold for that about a couple of weeks ago. But 84 million is the price of it at the moment, and it does seem to be the only one at the moment. So again, if you wanted to farm it just into the White Strix Mayhem event, you can check out my guide on how to make over 120,000 alliance points while you're AFK, and that will help you out a lot with that whenever you're not actively wanting to play the game but still want to get rewards. So I just want to give in a honorable mention here for the completed style page books. So basically, if you don't know what that is, it's every single style page individually, so the chest, the gloves, the legs, everything all in one book. Essentially, that is so rare to get, so they're very, very rare. They're kind of like a flex item to get because of the rarity of them, but also they're really convenient to use, I guess, if you get one for a good value and you're trying to learn that full motif style. You don't have to individually look for like 15, 16 different things. You're just looking for the one book, okay? Now, the reason I didn't give this a definitive spot is because there are so many of them, okay? I think there's like over 80 styles right now, and you can have the book for all of them. So I'm just going to go over how to farm it there. So to farm any of these books, you got to pick one. So for example, you pick the Sunspire book you want to go for. You just have to complete Sunspire, and there's just a very rare chance that at the end, whenever you would usually get a normal motif, you would get the full book. Now, as mentioned, these can be worth millions and millions of coins. Some of them worth a lot more than others. So just keep an eye if you ever do get one of those. Don't just be learning it right away, because it could be worth so much more money than you think. And then at number 1, then we have the most expensive items in the Elder Scrolls Online right now. It is the ugliest item in the Elder Scrolls Online right now as well, and it is the Mushroom Polyp Stinkhorn. And essentially, it is the only one of its kind on any server, okay? So I don't think there's an instance where there's only one of an item across all of the servers, including PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, but this seems to be it. So having a look at the sales history, okay, it doesn't look like this is sold in the past year at all, even once. It just looked like it's been listed. So it's up for 120 million, and because it's the only one, it does tend to be worth in and around that amount of money. The seller can put whatever value really he wants on the item, because he's the only one with it, so if anyone ever wanted it, they have to buy from him. So if you wanted to attempt to get this for yourself, what you can do is you can farm alchemy nodes in Vardenfell, and there's a very low chance that it will drop from them. If you guys want to farm this for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description to my full guide on that one to give you a bit more detail. But yeah, pretty simple. Pick up alchemy nodes and you have a very low chance of getting this, but if you do get it and you have an item worth like 100+ million, you're pretty much set for life. It's just something to do in your spare time, almost like a little lottery ticket, just like, you know, doing a little something and hope that you'll get a massive item at the end. So those are the top 5 rarest and most expensive items in the Elder Scrolls Online, guys. If you want to see another one of these videos where I go through another top 5, or you want to see another video like this, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you'll like this video here where I tell you about an expensive item that wasn't quite making this list.